Hey guys, it's Cassie, and today we're going to talk about my honest thoughts on Chanel. On Chanel, of Chanel. All about the price increases, the quality, their new policies they're coming in with, you know, only buying certain bags and certain number of certain bags every year, purchase history, all of this business. I'm going to break down my thoughts, my feelings, my theories in this video. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie and I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Okay, let's start off with this new policy that they're implementing. It has been reported that Chanel is now implementing purchase limits for specific items. Namely, the classic flap, you can only buy one a year, the cocoa handle, you can only buy one a year, and SLGs, you can only buy two of one type every year. Now, obviously this came out and a lot of people were enraged, annoyed. Why are you putting limits? If I have the money, I want to be able to spend it how I want. If I want to buy 6 classic flaps a year, then that's my business, not yours kind of thing. And I get that. This isn't new. Most famously, we hear of this being done at Hermès, okay? You can only buy up to 2 Birkins or Kellys a year, be that 2 Birkins, 2 Kellys, one of each. That's your maximum, unless you go to Paris, then that's just like a whole, that's like wild, wild west. But generally, this is the rule across boutiques. And this is a worldwide rule, and I think they were quite used to it from Hermès. Why do they do this, okay? It's to increase the exclusivity. They don't want the streets to be absolutely flooded with Chanel bags, especially in a place like London. If you just walk down Bond Street, you could spot at least 3 Chanel bags walking from the top of the street to the bottom. Now, recently, we've already seen them limit the amount of black classic flaps in store. Now, if you walk in and say, hi, I want a small classic flap, gold hardware, blah, 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 they'll, you know, possibly give you a little giggle in your face and be like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any. So already, these aren't, you know, the easiest bags to get, let's say. Apparently, this limit kicks in, or it's already kicked in October of this year.
Correction, in South Korea, but this is definitely something that we're going to be seeing globally soon, I'm sure.
If we break it down, if we actually look at the limit numbers, we shouldn't really be worried about this, right? Like, who really needs to buy more than 1 classic flap a year? Who really needs to buy more than 1 cocoa handle? Who really needs to buy more than 2 of the same SLGs in a year? In theory, these numbers are actually reasonable. But in the world of luxury fashion and, you know, the luxury community online and everything, we are used to a level of excess that, to be honest, is ridiculous, okay? And I think we all know this. We see people on YouTube, on Instagram, whatever, unboxing 4 or 5 classic flaps a year or something like that. And I think that a lot of us have almost become desensitized or used to it, when in reality, those purchase limits are like, actually, in my opinion, quite reasonable, let's say. Obviously, this isn't taking into account, like, I don't know, if you wanted to buy one for yourself and one as a gift, that kind of thing. Now, another reason that Chanel has done this is to disrupt the resale market. Chanel doesn't like reselling. Chanel doesn't like pre-loved, you know, selling and all of that business. So this is their way of kind of trying to limit that as much as possible. Is that going to actually help anything? Probably not. You're probably still going to be able to, you know, buy half these bags on the resale market and everything else. But I think that this is an attempt to kind of thwart that. What I'm actually quite interested in is there are so many personal shoppers on Instagram who are able to get you any Chanel bag you want in any colour, blah, blah, blah. And I want to see if that actually affects them and their relationships. I mean, there are such like big personal shoppers like Threads that I think have a kind of very corporate or company relationship with some of these brands. But then there are also personal shoppers who are just, you know, like normal people that have really good relationships with SAs, and that's how they source these items. I think it will be interesting to see how this changes things for personal shoppers, if it does. From a personal perspective, very selfishly, this doesn't really affect me because, you know, classic flap, I'm not particularly interested in buying at the moment. Cocoa handle, the same. You know, SLGs, I don't really buy them that often anyway, that kind of thing. So selfishly, I don't feel affected at all. Now, I want to talk about purchase history. because I've heard rumours of this being implemented in the US. I haven't really heard of this in Europe or the UK yet, but I think that it's interesting in general. Again, off the back of something that Hermès does with the Birkins and the Kellys and these quota bags, is you have to show a loyalty to the brand before you are then offered these dream bags. Apparently, what is happening in the US is that in order to be offered a classic flap or a really hot seasonal piece that's proving to be popular, you have to prove a purchase history to Chanel. I believe that could be anything. It can be costume jewellery, it can be a twilly, it can be a pair of socks for all I care, but you have to prove that you're not just in it for those bags. Again, this is a little bit off-putting, I think, for first-time Chanel buyers or somebody who has saved for a classic flap or for, you know, a specific seasonal piece or something like that, doesn't have a purchase history with Chanel and almost has to once again put in the work, as you have to do with Hermès, in order to be offered this thing. I don't think they care, because to them, exclusivity is exclusivity. I don't care if you've saved up since you were 18 to be able to have this bag. Tough titties kind of thing. So I find that another weird move from them. The third thing to talk about is the pricing. This is a constant conversation topic with Chanel. That is insane to me. How many price increases have we had this year? Like 2 or 3 or something. I personally can't keep up. As we know, the price of certain sizes of classic flaps are now Kelly and Birkin territory. Chanel has such a kind of brand loyalty and all this history behind it that there are people that no matter how expensive it gets, they're still going to buy. As we know, the price increases tend to be on the classic list of Chanel items. Your classic flap, your boy bag, your Gabrielle, your Chanel 19 and your reissue. The others, it's kind of like pick and choose, you know, this one seems to be doing well, let's bump that up a bit kind of thing. Now, I'm lucky enough that I got this when it first came out, like the first batch that dropped in 2019, so I got it at its first price, and this has gone up significantly since then. If you notice something with these price increases that they've done on the kind of classic heritage Chanel bags, they've also introduced and bulked up their SLG offering. Things like this, what was this called? Clutch on chain with the little adjustable cocoa crush ball, whatever it is, pearl crush, and then like this mini vanity kind of thing. This was 1,300-ish, I think this was 1,500. They've really bulked up this kind of offering of SLG's mini bags. This is definitely the more affordable, painful although it is to say, side of Chanel. And I think this is to kind of lure in the next generation of Chanel buyers. The next generation coming in, getting interested in luxury, want a little taste for Chanel, hopefully, you know, they like it, stick with it, and over the years, you know, graduate to other Chanel items. But this is kind of like the entry point now. I really like the fact that they've bulked up the SLG offerings, because that's kind of, you know, like, plays into my interests. You know, I like a tiny bag, I love all of this business, whatever. They do ones that are bigger than the ones that I have here, that are a bit more practical. But it just so happens that that's my interest. If that's not my interest, then this sucks, right? It's like, oh, great, okay, great. So, an actual sort of classic Chanel bag, I'm being priced out of. I don't like any of the SLGs either. What if I don't like any of the seasonal pieces? Then what's kind of left for me? Now, once again, kind of coming from a personal place here, I think I'm kind of done the Chanel classic bags. The 19 was the only one that I was interested in, like, right off the bat, and I feel like I'm kind of done, so I'm not interested in those classic pieces. I'm much more interested in the seasonal pieces that, again, although have gone up, are definitely not to the same prices as some of these classics. Let's not deny that also these price increases play into why Chanel is one of the best investment brands. This is all benefiting those of us who already have these things. Should you want to sell, you're going to make more money than, you know, you've spent on it. Without these price increases, these bags maybe would have nowhere near the investment value that they do now. So you can't kind of deny the positive of the price increases. There we go, my economics degree is finally coming in handy. Supply demand. We knew it would come in handy at some point, Cassie. Then I also want to talk about a big factor that kind of underlies all of these, which is the quality. So many people have reported having quality issues with Chanel or spotting quality issues when they've been at a boutique or whatever. I was at Chanel in Harrods not that long ago and I saw 2 or 3 business affinity Chanel bags where the pocket on the front was just completely crooked. And I was like, how are they even allowed to put that on shelves? Because it's embarrassing. Like, how do you not, as a sales associate, I mean, I don't know what their policies are, but how do you not report that to head office and be like, we can't sell this, we're going to send it back, kind of thing. I don't know how it works. But that was like the most blatant instance that I've ever seen it with. There are so many YouTube videos of reporting quality issues with their bags. It's definitely been a conversation that's being had alongside price increases and all of that, because you can't jack up the price, limit quantity and all of this when the quality side of things aren't up to scratch. Last year or this year they introduced a kind of 5-year warranty that comes with your classic flaps. Should anything happen or it needs reconditioning on blah blah blah, you can send it to them, they fix it for you and everything. There's a part of me that's like, you kind of didn't have the confidence to know this before. And even still, I mean, there are still quality issues being reported even after this warranty kind of has come in. So, what is my conclusion, I guess? I come from a place of, I've always kind of loved Chanel. Does every collection do it for me? No. But generally, like, spring-summer 2022, like, I already have a couple of things on my list kind of thing. And so is it the toxic ex that I keep running back to? Of course. I personally love Chanel seasonal pieces. Am I a fan of the moves they're making and all of this? No. Right? I don't think that you can be making Hermès-like moves without having the quality to back it up. I don't know if it's because of the quantity of stuff that they're churning out that they just can't do quality control like they did, in which case I don't mind if you have to limit production to make sure that every single thing that comes out is tip-top, top quality, 0 complaints. I think that they have to make sure that the quality side of things is up to scratch before you then start playing all these games with us. Because, like, even though it's probably still not going to be justified, it's like, okay, well, at least I can't come for you for your quality kind of thing. Let me know what you think. I'm going to leave a link to another video here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I will see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye, guys.